wave of the sea cave opens like a throat where the swallows nest in the spray and the salt coats every surface with the fur of mineral white. I enter at low tide when the cathedral is light, enough to see the pillars that the water carved from the cliff face, from the sandstone, from the years it starved. For solid rock, for something to erode, the nave is a lesson in the patient mode of subtraction or wearing down, of the drip and the crash. I stand in the center where the acoustics flash, with the sound of the gulls, with the sound of the foam. The nave collects the whispers that the gulls discard in their rush for the updraft and the disregard for the stillness below them, for the hollow below, where the muscles cluster thick as a shadow. On the pillars, on the walls, on the ceiling's wet dome. The nave is a body, the nave is a bone, washed clean by the brine, by the twice daily flood. The nave is the ribcage, the nave is the blood of the ocean when it kneels down to pray, in the nave of the cave at the end of the day. The waterline marks the walls like a hymn, in the language of algae, in the language of brine. I read the walls with my fingers, I read the years. The nave is a library of the tide souvenirs. The hermit crab in the corner drags his borrowed home across the sand floor where the starfish roam in slow constellations and patterns of fire. The nave is the place where the dead come alive, as barnacles, as limpets, as chitons in armor. The nave is the calm, the nave is the drama of the earth giving way to the water's demand. The nave is the palm, the nave is the hand that opens to receive what the Pacific discards. Driftwood, dead kelp, the ocean's postcard, sent to the shore in a bottle of stone. The nave is the place where I walk alone. Hot from the sun, right wall is cold from the shadow of the rock, from the stories it holds. The transept is the cross in the place where two meet, the tide and the daylight, the bitter and sweet of the cave's architecture, the X in the plan. The transept is the moment before the span of the apse opens up before the curve begins. The transept is where the hermit crab wins his shell from the sand, his home from the dead. The transept is the cross and the transept is the thread that sews the two sides of the cave into one. The transept is the place where the shadows run, out of room, out of space, out of places to hide. The transept is the only place the tide can't reach at the lowest ebb of the moon. The transept is the dark, the transept is the noon of the cave's daily clock, its internal time. The transept is the reason, the transept is the rhyme. The apse curves back like an ear to the sea, listening for the freight ships, for the buoys plea for retention, for passage, for the deep water sound. The apse is the place where the echoes are drowned in their own repetition, in their own return. The apse is the lesson that the tide must learn, about circles, about endings that are also starts. The anemones open, the anemones are hearts beating in the shallows, beating in the dark of the apse, where the limpets leave their mineral mark on the rock, on the time, on the permanent wall. The apse is the oldest part, the original hall of worship, of water, of the wave and the stone. The apse is the place where the sand is alone, with its thoughts, with its brains, with its counting of time. The apse is the bell, the apse is the chime that rings when the water floods back through the door. The apse is the floor, the apse is the shore, curved into a semicircle, curved into a shell. The apse is the secret that the cave won't tell, about what happened before the erosion began. The apse is the map, the apse is the plan, drawn by the water in the language of curve. The apse is the nerve, the apse is the verve of the cave's hidden spirit, its underground soul. The apse is the bowl, the apse is the hole that fills and empties, that breathes and exhales. The apse is the ship, the apse is the sails. Beneath the nave, beneath the weight of the stone. The crypt holds the fossils. The crypt holds the bone of the fish that predated the cathedral's birth. The crypt is the memory. The crypt is the earth before the erosion, before the cave was a cave. The crypt is the ocean. The crypt is the wave that waits in the rock, that waits in the sand. The crypt is the palm. The crypt is the hand that never got dry, that never forgot. The crypt is the beginning. The crypt is the plot of the story the water tells when the tide is high. The crypt is the reason. The crypt is the why. The cathedral exists, why the cave was made. The crypt is the dead. The crypt is the bay.